What's up, fellas? Back again. Little tip for you. Big, giant glide baits. That's right, big, giant glide baits. We've never done a tip on that, you know? Caught some fish in the Forestwood Cup recently on baits like this. Just want to talk about it. I want to show you a little bit about what I know about glide baits and how they work and how sometimes they will literally break your heart. So, all about glide baits coming at you. Alright guys, so here's the swim baits that I was throwing. These are all called glide baits. There's regular swim baits that have a paddle tail that give action, and then there's these glide baits that have one joint in them, like I'm throwing here. And that's what I was throwing. And they glide in the water. They're pretty cool. Let me show you what they look like in the water so you can kind of get a good understanding what a glide bait is. Neutral buoyancy typically. They're very slow sink. So check this thing out in the water. It looks like a rainbow trout. When it lays in the water, just kind of sits here, kind of neutral buoyant. But as it swims, look at it, all by itself. It glides, just wobbling. Kind of imitates like a kind of a sick fish or a fish that's not really paying attention to what's going on. It's just kind of wandering along, and those bass will come up behind it and hit it. Even small bass, believe it or not. I don't know why they do it. I mean, I caught bass in the tournament on this bait that weren't, I mean, they weren't much bigger than this bait, but you know, that's the deal. But it's called a glide bait. Check it out here. I'm going a little faster. You can see how that thing really wobbles through the water. It does it all by itself. The heck are you doing? I didn't even know you put a mask on. What the heck? You need flippers?
It's cold.
You want flippers? You need flippers.
It's really cold.
Are you okay? I might have to hook you, dude.
Oh my gosh.
You getting in? They give you shock?
Yeah, I was shocked.
Oh my gosh. I didn't even know you did that, dude. You freaked me out, dude. All of a sudden you just walked by me and jumped in the lake. You snuck a mask in on me. Hey, well, now you can get like shots of the swim bait in the water. It'd be kind of cool. Dude, what in the world?
Give me a minute.
You want some flippers?
Yeah, I'll take the flippers.
I think the flippers are a good idea. It's cold, huh?
Yeah.
Only 52. No, it's 58.
It's 58?
Yeah. Best thing to do is swim like hell. Just don't get a cramp and die on me. Well, I can hook you with this swim bait, bring you back to the top. That 17-pound line, I might need to put it on 20 though. Or maybe that 100-pound braid I got might work best for you. So guys, we're gonna show you what these things look like in the water. It'd be kind of cool. Give you some underwater perspective of these glide baits. Everything for a really good fishing tip. And the underwater shots and the baits in the water. That's dedication, my friend. I was worried about you.
I was having problems.
I thought you were going to lock up on me. I was like, oh my God, we're going to lose Brandon. All right, the way to rig these swim baits up is I like to throw them on fluorocarbon personally. The bigger the swim bait, the bigger the line. I think this right here is 17 on this particular one here. This is a favorite. 7.2 medium heavy. You don't want a broomstick, but you also don't want a noodle rod. So a nice medium heavy or a heavy action with a little tip is good. Speed of the reel doesn't matter too much because you're just reeling it steady. Let that bait do that turn. The only thing you got to do is really pay attention to how fast you reel it. Some days are a little different. So I kind of felt like a good solid medium retrieve was the best for here. But there are times that you have to slow it down and there's times you speed it up. So you just kind of play with it and see when you get bit. Okay, another option is a little bit smaller glide bait. This is a little trout imitation. It's just smaller than this one. This one's a big one. This one is made by Hardcore Don't know much about it, but it does work. You know, but believe it or not, you'll be surprised at how many fish you catch on a big giant glide bait like that. Let's try it right here on this dock and see what happens. Oh, now again, biggest tip too is that was a bad cast. Don't make a short cast or an off cast and work it through there. Like that right there is perfect. That was perfect. I'm gonna come right by the corner of that dock, right on that little shade line, between that stump and that dock. Now see how I'm holding my rod up just a little bit. I like to barely see my glide bait. Glide baits are not meant to get way down deep, at least the way that I fish them. I mean, by the way, I'm not some super glide bait expert. The guys out in California throw glide baits way more than me. But the success that I've had with them has been keeping them just below the surface where you can barely see it, you know. This is 17-pound fluorocarbon on this rod. This is a 7'6" flipping stick, heavy action. And then on my other rods, I've got a 7.2 favorite and a 7.4 heavy on my small one. Now I want to show you a couple little things that you can do. Now for the most part, I'm reeling it steady and letting that bait do that left to right hard action. But if I reel it faster, it'll kick even more. And then if I pause it with a slight little jerk, watch this. If I'm reeling it along, it's waving, it's going doo doo. Look, I can turn the bait around. Look at that. That's pretty cool. So if there's ever a big fish behind it that just won't bite, I've done that before, where you literally are, and you're like, oh my gosh, there's one right behind it, and you pause it, and you give it that little jerk, and it turns that thing around like this. Watch this. It's facing the other way, and you can play around with it because it's all about getting that fish to react. It's like that trigger, you know. And so that's pretty much it on that. Again, this bait here has got 17 as well. My smaller one has 15. It's a timing thing. You know, I'm not going to throw a glide bait first thing in the morning on this type of pattern where I'm on docks. I like those fish to get up under that shade of that dock, and usually that's after 12 o'clock. So it's the later part of the day that glide bait action is really going to heat up. Oh, there's one behind it right now. Oh, look at them all. Look at them all. Look at them all. Look at them all. Oh my gosh, dude. There's like 4 or 5 of them there. They all followed it out, dude. Good ones too. Oh! God, one hit it actually the first time. I felt him tap it, but that's where they live, right there. I don't know if you could see that, guys, because they were down in the water just a little bit, but there was 3 good-sized bass behind that swim bait, and they were like in a little wolf pack. They were all fired up. So once they've seen the glide bait a couple times, you know, and they don't bite it, and usually it's like an element of surprise thing, right? You're just not going to keep throwing the glide bait in there. So now I know the fish are there. I don't know if I can catch them or not. Probably can't, but I'm going to try that fluke. And I'm going to do the same sort of action with this white fluke. I can put a little hook on the bottom of it, which I showed you about a minute ago. And I'm going to try that. Let's try this right here. And I'm going to glide it. Real similar action. And see if we can't get them to come up and bite on this thing. Man, those are like nice fish too, man. I'm gonna try this small one. I haven't thrown this one much, but I'm gonna try this smaller one here. Show them something a little smaller, see if they react to it. And also, some of these glide baits have what they call a floater, or a slow sink, or a fast sink. Now, if I did want to get that bait down a little bit deeper, which may, you know, they're not reacting to it here. If I had a fast sink, I might throw it here just to see what happens, because they might actually react to it. But I do have several different kinds. I don't have a fast sink with me. Followed it out again. Those little jokers, man. God, he bit it, dude. Just had like a 2.5 pounder literally eat it. I stopped it and spun it around in its face, and it bit the front of it. That was cool though. I did the spin around on him. He was right behind it, and I was running out of room, and I did the little pause spin around, and the head of it went right in his mouth. And he went out, and he just didn't get the hooks. There's one right there. There he is. There he is. Look at that one. That's a good one. That's a good one. I've got him all snagged in the side. Here he is. Slapped it. Golly. You talk about a face full of hooks right there, boys. It's a nice one. Well, that's on that particular one there, kind of clear, that size. Nice fish right there. Gliding along the shoreline, a little log. See that log right there? Basically where that fish came out of. Fish was up basically against that log and that glide bait went right by it. I saw him shoot out and got it. That was really, really cool. There's one. Oh, look at this one. Look at this one. You think that thing's crazy. He's lost his mind. He's lost his mind. Literally. Guys, I think the swim bait might be bigger. Almost as big as him. That is crazy. Man, I tell you, bass are vicious on that thing. Can you believe it? I don't know what he's going to do with it. See you, dude. There's one right there, right there. Right there. Right off the edge of that dock. Oy. He shot out from underneath that dock. There's another one. That came on that big rainbow trout one. Not a bad bass. I've seen a couple big ones follow it, and up in that stained water where we started, you know, they were knocking it pretty good. And I bet I could go back now, and now that I know which docks are on, and probably catch a couple of those fish. So, really cool. All right, man. See you later. All right, guys, that's a wrap. Quick little tip on glide baits, big swim baits. Talked a little bit of line, a little bit about rods, a little bit about how to work them. Again, don't get hung up throwing them all day long. They're a situational type bait, but you definitely need to try it. It will catch some of those fish that are just about impossible to catch. So thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for subscribing to the channel. And if you haven't already subscribed, be sure to do that. Share these tip videos out with all your buddies. And we'll see you soon. Appreciate you guys. Bam!